Is it really the party of common sense, or is there just a group of people in America who want common sense, and many are still skeptical of Donald Trump and Republicans?
I think right now in history, the Democratic Party is different than it used to be because the power brokers are progressives. And that's far left people. The people calling the shots in the party are different than they used to be. It's not Daniel Patrick Moynihan anymore. It's not JFK or even Robert Kennedy. It's people that are pretty far out there in their desire to change everything about America. That's number one. So the Democratic Party has changed, and Joe Biden is 100% with that crew. So the Republican Party then veers into territory of moderation in the sense that there are a lot of traditional Americans, not conservatives, who don't want that drastic change. They don't want a criminal justice system that gives violent crime a pass. They don't want, all right, skyrocketing prices on a global warming theory. They don't want millions of foreign nationals pouring into the United States unattended. These aren't conservatives. These are just regular folks. So they're gravitating toward the Republican Party. And that's what you're seeing. I don't know about common sense. I don't see a lot of common sense from Marjorie Taylor Greene or what's his name in Florida, you know, the congressman. That I don't see a lot of common sense there. Yeah, I mean, so I generally speaking, I know the flow of moderate traditional Americans is to the grand old party, the GOP.
All right, so Trump there says under his direction, this is what it's become. And you saw him talking to New York firefighters and New York cops. And this is a guy who was part of the New York elite. You don't need me to tell you that. You knew him for a long time when he was in New York. We're talking about the day's events, right? So you've got the riots at UCLA. You had the riots at Columbia. And the Columbia Law School Law Journal just put out a statement saying there shouldn't be final exams because they've been too traumatized. But Donald Trump is part of the same system, right? Okay, that he's going to go bank with the banks that hire all these kids. He's going to go hire lawyers from the law firms that hire all these kids. For working class families who are living under the thumb of this and what has been brought on by elite America, progressive America, Donald Trump's not going to tear that down for him.
I don't know what Trump will do or not do in the general arena. I do know, Leland, you should read my book, The United States of Trump, over the weekend. Trump was never accepted by the New York elite. They always considered him a vulgarian. They might have smiled to his face because he was wealthy and building a lot of buildings, but they never accepted him. He was never in that crew. He was never in the Vanity Fair Vogue magazine squad, ever. They always despised him because of his roots. Queens, Fred Trump, all of this I get into in the United States of Trump. As far as Columbia University, that's supposed to be the elite, one of the Ivies, right? Well, we now find out that there is no discipline, no leadership, no point of view from the university at all. What do they stand for? Let me ask you that, Leland. You're a smart guy. What does Columbia University stand for? Can you tell me?
No, I think that's the point, right? No one can understand what they can stand for. They understand what they allow.
They don't stand for anything.
No, but we see what they allow,
but they don't
and that says a lot.
stand for anything.
Okay.
You know, if you stand for something, then you come out and say it. Like the president of the University of Florida, Ben Sasse, says on day 2, we respect protest, but if you break the law or the rules of the University of Florida, you're expelled.
Right.
So he stands for order, O-R-D-E-R. We got it. And you can go to Gainesville or not. Columbia and most of the other Ivies don't stand for anything. They'll tell you they stand for DEI and inclusion and they're woke. Yeah, but they don't really stand for anything. When it really comes down to it, they're not going to be in a foxhole.
Right, but I'll flip that around. Is Donald Trump really going to be in a foxhole fighting against them?
I don't know if he'll take the time to fight against academia. I would probably say no. Trump is a deal maker.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.